All right, Richard, good evening. How are you? My Royal Enfield correspondent. Excellent. Richard, how is the video and audio? Please let me know. And the rest of the guys, please let me know. Video, audio, is everything all right? All good. Excellent. So, Kobularts. Hello, man. Hello. I think I've seen you here for the first time. Nice to see you. Is everything all right on your side? Richard, any news about Royal Enfield? News to share with the audience tonight? Yaros, hello, man. Excellent. All good. Excellent, guys. Excellent. Today is going to be free live stream for everyone who want to join it. I hope that more people will come. So any question that you might have on the topic motorcycle trips, go ahead. I'll be glad if I can help you. Richard, about the Himalayan, no problem so far. Smoothing out every mile. Excellent. Glad to hear that. It looks like they made it this time. Royal Enfield. Yeah, guys. So any question related to long motorcycle trips or any motorcycle trips or just motorcycles, go ahead. As I said, I'll be glad if I can help you with the answer. Bite Bor also very long name from South Africa. I remember you from the last time. Hi, man. Good evening to Cielo del Mundo. Cielo del Mundo. Okay, good evening. How are you, man? ¿Qué tal? So any question will be appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it so. It will help me a lot to grow it up faster, to grow the channel faster, and to produce more content for you guys. Cobblards, how many tires do you think you'll need to cover 30,000 kilometers in South America? I will say around 3 different sets of tires. One of the sets of the tires will be 100% off-road tire. The rest will be something like dual sport, but 3 sets will be all right. Richard, how we are all getting a bit older? How's the started limit? What do you a bit older? Has it started to limit? What do you get? 60 and realize my limitations more. Of course, we all experience some kind of limitations, Richard, but it is what it is. We'll do our best to see as more as possible until we can. And then we're going to stay at home watching TV or pictures, old pictures or videos that we have traveled or other people when they travel. But we'll do our best to see everything. Yaros, I have an aluminum top box for daily rides. What do you think about adding one duffel bag on the passenger seat versus adding soft panels for travels? Yaros, your aluminum top box is already heavy enough on the tail of your motorcycle, and you already feel it on different situations. I'm sure about it. And if you add another one duffel bag on the passenger seat, it will be even more weight on a very high position, and in many situations you're gonna feel it. I will advise to remove the top box and just travel with duffel bag and maybe saddle bags. But if you cannot travel without it, at the end it is your motorcycle, your trip, and all the negatives and positives will be for you as well. The guy from South Africa, Yaros, the other problem getting on and off his mission. Yeah, true, Richard. What is the average age of bikers in Bulgaria? Over 40. There is no blood coming through the. No. Here in Bulgaria, we have a lot of young riders, but people who travel are around 40 or a little bit more, because these are the people who can afford a little bit more free time and eventually money to travel. So we have a lot of young riders, but the people who travel are 40 or my age or even older because of the reasons that I just told you. But it is what it is, the same everywhere. When I was living in Germany, every time when I was going to a big motorcycle meeting, I was the youngest over there. Bikers in Germany are over 60, so old people. Because when they are young, they need to work very hard and they don't have money or free time to travel. Steen Liebeck, hello from Denmark. Hello, Steen again. How are you, man? So this is the situation not only in Bulgaria. I think it's the same everywhere, but nothing we can do about it. Just a few people, young people, can risk, or I won't say this risk, but they can jump into this motorcycle travel world. Now I'm 50. I started traveling around 15 years ago, maybe a little bit more, but I should have started earlier, but it is what it is. I agree, Richard. 60 is not old. Sorry about it. I'm now 50. I'll be 60 in a blink of an eye. I shouldn't say it, but yeah, you're right. You're right. As long you're in good health, absolutely not old. Heated grips or heated gloves? I would prefer to have heated grips because they'll be independent. They will be on the motorcycle and they'll have the power from the motorcycle. Heated gloves are maybe better option if it's so cold. You should have. They will provide a better insulation and probably better comfort. But you'll depend on the batteries. It's a little bit different. But if it's very cold, heated gloves will be better. Now they have many new models with good batteries that last a few hours and stuff like that. But as I said, I prefer to have everything on the motorcycle. And in this situation, I don't need to rely on any external sources. But it could be the other way around. If the motorcycle doesn't work, then you don't have warm hands. Cobblards, I believe high insurance premiums in the UK make entry level half of younger buyers. I used to live there and quite was for £2 for 2 bags. Yeah, this is one of the reasons, but again, it all comes to money. Yaros. Yeah, I was also thinking about removing the top box and doing only with the soft luggage. Do you think the horseshoe bag is better choice than soft side panels? Yaros, I use this bag from already 7 years, and this is the best bag that I ever had, and I will never go to anything else. It's the only bag that I don't feel at all. It is there always when I need it, but I don't feel it. So yeah, it is much better option than saddle bags because this is tied to the motorcycle, does not cause more petrol consumption like a saddlebag. Saddlebags will definitely bring you another half a liter per 100 kilometers more petrol consumption. If you have a hard panels, it will be 1 liter more per 100 kilometers. So definitely the horseshoe bag is a better option, or at least for me. Richard, do you carry a fuel stainer and we will take you on South America to help you fuel filter? Not always, but I might take a few like this octane boosters with me to in South America, because in many places the petrol might be different. But even so, because I spoke with a lot of people that been already, they said that the petrol is fine. So I don't really plan it, but I might take 1 or 2 small these octane boosters just in case I need it. If you mean a filter, just like there is a very small filter that you can put on the top of your petrol tank when you fill it, I might have something like that, but I don't think the quality of the fuel will be so bad in South America. When I was in Central Asia, there were no petrol stations in many places, and the petrol was in plastic cans next to the road, and it was bad petrol, but the motorcycles works. So I don't really worry about it. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it. So it will help me a lot, help the algorithm, help to grow the audience faster, to produce more content. So it's a favor, do it, please, if you haven't subscribed already, or to the rest of the channels that I have. Yaros, did the heat from the exhaust cause any damage to your horseshoe bag? No, but it depends on the motorcycle. On some models, it might be a problem. Not for my motorcycle. But if it's a problem, you can always improvise with some kind of racks and prevent it from happening, or some kind of shield on your exhaust to have it. But I have seen it on many different motorcycles, and it's never been a problem. Did your national service in any way help you to motorcycle? Did your national service in any way help you your motorcycling? If you mean the national service that I did when I was 18 years old, Richard, hard to say, but maybe in many ways, because I have learned a lot of skills that I hope I will never need it, but they somehow give me some kind of confidence. Jimmy Skorvonovsky, Skowronski, Jimmy Skowronski. Is this Polish name Jimmy or just from UK and Iceland? Hello, man. Nice to see you here. Cobblards. Not sure if this is a case in your Honda XRE, but TRF chain slide, the one that protects the steering wheels after 15,000 kilometers. To wear it after 15,000 kilometers, it's probably caused because of the loose chain or something like that, but it might be. I haven't got this motorcycle for such a long rides. I cannot say right now. Might be. Jimmy, you're originally from Poland. Okay, Jimmy, if you have any questions, go ahead. Now is the moment. I'll be glad if I can help you. Alexander Marek, nice to see you again, Alexander. Yes, surnames ending with Sky indicates Polish origin. Richard, I have no problems with the old split links on chains. Do you still use them or just the blue rivet method? I always use rivets on my motorcycles. I made one trip with the link, and I lost the link. So I used the second that I had, and I lost it as well. So any motorcycle with chain with more than 150 cc power should be with riveted chain. This is my opinion. So rivet it, and you'll forget about any problems on the road. Cobblards, have you ever had issues with chain slides on other motorcycles? No, not at all. It might be worn out after 150, 60,000 kilometers, but it all depends on the slack of your chain. If you always ride your motorcycle with very loose chain and it goes like that, you might wear it faster, but otherwise not. I did not have any problems with my old Tenere that I sold on 193,000 kilometers with the original slider. So, Richard, I carry a spare link in case of breakage. Yes, I'm sure you do, Richard, but I lost my spare as well. And it was a long trip, so I have to improvise, and it was always a problem, and I will never do it again. Alexander Manak, anyone else using gear chainsaw or their chains? No, I just use a chain spray. What do you carry for on bike snacks? What do you carry for on bike snacks? Nothing, Richard. I usually eat well when I eat. When I stop eat, I eat well. I don't carry anything with me, and many reasons. If you have something sweet in hot days, it just melt. If you have something salty, after a few hours, it tastes like shit. So I don't carry anything with me because you can have access everywhere. So it's all right. But for example, if you're diabetic and if you have a problem with your insulin, you should carry something with you in the case your uh, blood sugar drops. You need to have something. I just don't carry. Using a chainsaw on all is a bad idea for motorcycle chain. I'll agree, because if you don't use a proper chain spray that actually stick to your chain, if you use a normal oil, even just the engine oil, once you start riding with more than 20-30 kilometers per hour, all the oil will split away and your chain will be dry after just few hours. That's why I'll recommend to use a proper chain spray, and not for off-road. Off-road chain sprays are the same. When you start riding faster, especially on the highways, all the oil fly away. Peter Africa. Hello, Peter. First time here. Nice to see you. Can a person work job as a wage laborer and able to afford the freedom to travel the world on a motorcycle for months and time? So we'll give you example things. Wage laborer. Well, I cannot say how exactly you have to do it, Peter. It depends on your job and your the way you want to spend your life or your preferences. So if the travel is something important to you, I'm sure that you will find a way. And just for your information, I never been a rich man. Even so, I was able to see a lot of countries on a budget, but I was still able to see it. So if you really want to see the world, I'm sure that you will find a way. Richard, I used to Toro chain oiler. It's a fifth bike, 100,000 miles for far. Good for you, Richard. If you like oilers, use it. I never worried so much about the chain, and I never used oilers. I just spray it once per day when I stop riding, and that's it. Hey, hello, Nikolai. Nice to see you again. Alexander Marek, chainsaw always made in the view, stick in the chain, just like motorcycle loop. Difference is a price for sure. I didn't know that. Good to know. Thank you for adding, Alexander. I have a chainsaw, but I just use a normal oil on it. I never worry about it. Richard, is there anyone in the motorcycle world you would like to meet? Yeah, there are many people in the motorcycle world that I would like to meet, and eventually I will do it one day. But my goal, of course, is to see the whole world. If I am able to meet many interesting people until I'm on my mission to see the world, it will be even better. More and more people are coming. Guys, it's a free discussions. Any question that you might have to long motorcycle trips, please write it down in the comments and I will try to reply it. When traveling with a friend and camping, one tent or two tents? I will always prefer to have two tents because the tent that I have is for two people, but it's not even enough for me. And if we have one tent for two people, it will be too big and will be too bulky on one of the motorcycles. And also, when you travel with a friend, what do you mean, as a passenger or with two different motorcycles? Because if it's your passenger, it will be one tent, it's obvious. But if it's your riding partner with another motorcycle, I always recommend to have two different tents because you might split two bikes. Yes, so you might decide to split on some stage and you will be left without anything. Each one of the travelers supposed to be absolutely independent. All tools and spare parts and tents and everything set for him. Yeah, exactly, Richard. Yeah, this is the best choice. As I said, my motorcycle tent is for two people, but when I'm inside, I have space only to put my luggage or my clothes inside. That's it. If I have to have someone with me inside, where we're gonna put the luggage? If it's rain, for example, where we're gonna put our clothes and boots and helmets and stuff like that? So no points. South African guy with a long name, Bite Bor Alt Filtrationist. Yeah, keep the tent and accessories small, light, and easy to pitch and get down again in the morning. Yeah, but not too small. If it's like a one-man tent that are like coffins, man, this is not comfortable at all, and you don't have any space to put anything inside. And as I said, if it's rain, all of your gear will stay outside. Alexander Marek, what does it mean to see the whole world for you? Every country in the world. Yes, it's exactly what it means, Alexander. I would like to visit every country that exists in our world. At the moment, there are 193 or 4 countries, 195, something like that. I have seen around 70, and I wish or I hope that I will have enough time to see the rest of the countries. Every country in the world. This is what this means. Cabulars, do you have any concerns of poisonous snakes, spiders while crossing Amazon? I don't have such a concerns. It might happen, of course, but what I know from many of my trips, it's not that dangerous. Of course, I plan to cross the Amazon and all of this jungle, but I'll still be on the road. I'm not gonna cross it through the real jungle. So I don't think that I'll have problems like this on the road. Of course, I have to spend the night here and there, but it's not gonna be on the ground. I hope it's not gonna be on the ground. So I don't have this type of concerns. Many years ago, when I went to Australia, they said, "Oh, in Australia, the most dangerous animals around the world are in Australia. You'll see this and that." And I spoke with so many people, local people, and they all said that, "Man, you don't have to listen. These are these stories are only in the news. Nothing like this. Most of the people haven't seen any of these dangerous animals in Australia. So I haven't seen anything at all. The biggest danger in Australia were the kangaroos, not the snakes, not all of these spiders and all of these things that we have heard in National Geographic. Gonna be hard to do. Okay, Annie. Yes, it's gonna be hard. There are many countries that are very hard to visit. That's why I'm gonna leave them for the rest. So now I'm focused on like big continents or places that I can see many countries at the same time, like South America. I can see 10 different countries in one trip, and then I can go to Central America and then see like so many countries in one trip. And then when I have left only small countries that are located in very difficult corners of the world, then I can fly there and try to see it on different ways. But this is basically the plan. Richard, are cash points for money exchange plentiful in South America? In many places, in almost every country, you can use your MasterCard or Visa and draw money from cash machines. So I don't worry about cash, and I'm not gonna bring a lot of cash with me. I might have $200-300 in small notes just in case I need cash to exchange it. But the rest of the money I'm gonna keep in my cards, and I will draw it from the local cash machines. Dima, hi Pavlen, what is your opinion about Yamaha XT660R if you ignore the high fender? What is my opinion, Dima? On the same engine, I've got 193,000 trouble-free kilometers. So my opinion is only positive. XTR high fender, it's all right if you like this style. Maybe you'll need to change some things like a windscreen or maybe a bigger petrol tank if you need it. But in overall, it's a budget way to travel and enjoy the life. Richard, how do you cope with the time zones changes and jet lag type feelings? The only way that works and that I have done many times is don't go to bed before it's time to go to bed. So now when I fly over there, it will be probably 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon local time. So it will be so difficult for me to survive until 8 night on the evening, but I will try to do it, because if I go to sleep on 2 in the afternoon, I will wake up probably in the middle of the night, and then it's the problem on the next day again. So what I do, no matter what time I arrive there, I always try to go to bed when it's a time to go to bed. So if I have to stay 5, 6, 7 hours awake, even it's so difficult, I'll try to do it. And then I'll go to sleep. On the next morning, I'll be all right that quickly. So this is what I do every time. And it works, really works. It is the same when I'm coming back. No worries, Dima, no worries. Go ahead, it's a bulletproof motorcycle. It's a very well made, it's a proven with many motorcycles, many people in many destinations around the world. It's a very strong engine. Richard, genuine parts always, or use some pattern parts? When I have the chance, I always use original parts, but you might make some compromises with things like brake pads. If you have the chance to have original brake pads, yes, do it. But brake pads are not something that is so important. It is important to stop your motorcycle, but they're not that expensive, and you can change them anytime. But for important elements of the motorcycle, I'll always go to original spare parts. Still Leerberg, in my job, I travel a lot, always worth traveling east. Yeah, because of the jet lag. What do you mean, Steen? Because of the jet lag or because of the condition? Bite bore outfiltration is suggestion on boots. What will you take with you, and what's been your experience for the best all-around boots? South African guy, I have this Revit Expedition H2O boots, and these are the best boots that I ever had. Yes, they are expensive. They cost around almost 700 euros, but they are comfortable and they provide the best protection that I ever seen from traveling boots. These are not MX boots. These are boots for traveling, adventure type of boots. Yeah, they have everything that I need. The only problem is the price, but it is what it is. Go and Google it. You might find it on good discount sometimes, but I don't think that you're gonna get it for less than 600 euros. They are expensive boots. If you don't want to spend such a large amount of money, go for CD Adventure. CD Adventure, it will cost you around 300, maximum 400 euros. They're also a good option. I have thousands of kilometers with CD Adventure. But don't go to cheaper option because you need protection, especially around the ankle. It's very important to have some kind of protection. Alexander Marek recently saw a motorcycle consumer report where they said motorcycle breakage Yamaha was the least prone to break, then Honda, Suzuki, then Kawasaki, European. My question is, Alexander, what will write if Japanese motorcycle wouldn't exist? I don't know, Alexander. When the Japanese motorcycles disappear from the world, then I'm gonna decide what I have to write. But I do like Japanese technologies. I do like Japanese cars and motorcycles because of their simplicity and because of the way they designed everything. They're not so complicated and always works. So I cannot say it right now. Yaros, I wanted the Revit boots with the bow system so much, but I wear size 48 and Revit only makes size 47. Only option with bow for me is a clean boots, but the protection, it's a bit worse. Yes, Yaros, I recently got a chance to see in real these clean boots, and they were like a joke. They were so flexible, like that. They were so bulky, but so flexible, so they don't really have any protection. But yeah, unfortunately, with this 48 size, will be difficult for you to find anything. Richard, Tenere Traveler, when does electronic technology become too much and what do you consider necessary? I think that, in my opinion, Richard, as you know, anything above ABS is already too much. I know that all of these systems might help. I know that all of these new powerful motorcycles like 120, 30, 50, 160 horsepower, systems like traction control and all of that stuff is necessary because otherwise the owners of the motorcycles cannot control it. But I think that anything over the ABS is just too much, and it might be a problem when you travel. They overcomplicate the most motorcycles, and this, of course, it's in long term never works so well. Even though traction control and other systems are on the motorcycles already from many years, but they always have some kind of problems because of all of these complex technologies that have to use. So this is my opinion. I might be wrong, but I can tell you that if we take an example, let's say 10 owners of KTM 1290, that they have it from at least 2-3 years, so they know how to ride it already. And if we switch the systems to each one of them, just like that, on the first day, at least 5 people will lose control because they already get used to the system. They get used to all of this help, the traction control, and all of these different systems that they have, and they forget how to ride. It's like you forget your mechanical skills, how to control the motorcycle without systems. Because every time when you feel the traction or every time when you feel the ABS, does mean that you already made a mistake, but the systems that you have help you to prevent your accident. Okay, Alexander Yaros, don't be afraid to try systems named different than BOA with the system mechanism. From my experience, they all work good. Doesn't have to be named BOA. I agree with Alexander. BOA system is really useful. I agree with this, but it has one big minus. If it cuts, it's cut and it's a problem. Never cut on my boots. This is my second set of Revit boots. It always works, but if it's cut, it's a problem. So I honestly prefer to have just a normal buckles, but this is what they have. Richard, will the shaft drive middleweight bike be a good idea, or will be extra weight and complexity works against it? It's a very complex mechanism, Richard, and it cannot be made light because it's just too big and too heavy, and it completely changed the the center of the gravity of the motorcycle. Usually the center of gravity or supposed to go in the middle of the motorcycle, somewhere under the engine, but when you have a shaft drive, it's move everything to the rear wheel and completely change the whole balance on the motorcycle, especially if you looking for lightweight or motorcycle that could be ridden in different terrains like off-road, and to feel the suspension and stuff like that. It has its purpose in very heavy motorcycles, but on adventure motorcycle, on adventure trip, it's very complicated, then it's very heavy, and the third is reliability. Yeah, you don't need to make any maintenance on it, and it could not any, but at least 20, 30, 50,000 kilometers, you don't need to touch anything. But sooner or later, you have to rebuild this drive shaft, and if it breaks in the middle of nowhere, you're stuck. You need spare parts to fix it. With the chain, it's easy. You just change the chain, and you're good to go. Okay. Alex Yaros, I agree, but I couldn't find any similar tech for boots and size. You maybe recommend. Okay. David Manila. Hello, David. Nice to see you in the chat. I have seen a lot of your comments on the channel, but I haven't seen you on the live stream. So glad that you're here. Which is more desirable as a manageable travel machine, the standard T7 or the world rate? I lost your comment. They moved. World rate. Money apart. Well, I prefer the standard T7 because of the weight, because of the tiny or the tiny size that it has. World rate is just too fat for my taste. It's too heavy for my taste. It has 20 kilograms more. I'm not gonna discuss the price as you suggest. I prefer the light T7 because the petrol is the biggest plus that they say on this world rate. You have 23 liters petrol, you can cover many miles. I can cover many miles even with 16 liters, so this is not a problem. I prefer the standard, but everyone is different. Some people like this fatty looking bike that looks very big and fatty, so depends on the person. South African guy, I had the unfortunate experience on my BMW. The drive shaft fell on me, broke my leg and shoulder. Now I'm back on plain old chain drives. Yeah, sorry to hear that, but shit happens sometimes. And when this shit might happen also with the chain. If you break your chain in the middle of a corner, for example, you have exactly the same outcome. But yeah, with the drive shaft, it's a little bit different. Yes, lighter will always be more manageable, but it depends on your needs. My bike's total weight is 240, and I don't really notice it on the road. Yes, I agree. Yaros, on the road, you're not gonna notice it, but out of the road, if you need to have some different sections, you will definitely feel it. Richard, Tenere Traveler, branded motorcycle clothing is very expensive. Do you use walking or climbing clothing under your outer layer because it's much cheaper? Under your outer layer. I got you, Richard. Yes, branded motorcycle clothing is very expensive. This is true. For most of the people, I will advise buy the best that you can afford, jacket and pants, and underneath you can find tons of different budget options for traveling. Big companies or big chains like Decathlon, they sell a lot of stuff that you can have under your jacket. Something like this, sweatshirt like this, you can buy very cheap and use it. Unfortunately, on the top, the real jacket and pants, if you have the option, if you have the money, I will again recommend to buy the best that you can afford. But underneath, you can have everything. So you don't need to pay for extra mid layers or whatever they call it, or thermal underwear for 200 euros, or just mid layer for 180 euros, or socks for 50 euros. This is just a bullshit, in my opinion. The top is important because it will protect you from weather, if you have accident, from all the impacts that you might have, but inside it's not so important. As I said, there are so many different chains that provide affordable clothes for hiking. Yeah, I agree. Pauline tried many bikes and found a bigger motorcycle just fit better. I am 189, 198 at 110, and ergonomics are main benefits of larger bikes. Whatever works for you, Yaros, whatever works for you. I understand if you're so big, you cannot really jump on Honda Sierra 300. I'll be also a very funny picture now in South America with this Honda 300cc, but it is what it is. I'm going to survive with it. And I'm sure after a few days, I'm not going to see it anymore. And for me, the most important is just to travel. But I understand you perfectly. Richard, our considering a tubeless conversation on your bike much easier, and you always put a tube and tubeless tire, else fails. I understand what you mean, Richard. I haven't seen a good quality and easy to use tubeless kit for my Tenere. If I can see something, if I can find an option that will work without any problems, I might switch to it. But anyway, as you said, I always need to carry a tube with me because in the case it fails, I will use the tube. I have seen a few people make this conversion, but they always got some kind of problem with the leaking air because of this conversion to tubeless. And flat tires are something that it's not pressure at all, but they are also something that it just happened. And it's not that difficult. Or yeah, you're gonna make your hands dirty. You might need to wait here and there a few hours, but it's just part of the adventure. And I know that I never worry about it so much. I know that for some people it's a big problem. That's why they prefer always to buy tubeless wheels. By the way, was it the Himalayan with tubeless wheels, the new model that you have now? Yes, I've been riding 125cc for a while before and jumped on a big bike. It looks very funny, but improvise with the seat height and maybe work even. So the bikes is better than bike at all. Absolutely agree, Yaros. Even 150 25cc is better than nothing. But yeah, I agree. I gave tubeless. I didn't get it, Richard. So it has option to have tubeless and tubes, but you got with tubeless or with tubes? Ah, okay. I got it now. You have tubeless, but you carry a tube with you. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You always need to carry. But when you have from the factory tubeless wheels, it's different story. If I had on my Tenere tubeless wheels, yeah, it will be fantastic. I'll still carry a tube with me, but I will stay for factory tubeless wheels. But I'm not gonna buy a motorcycle just because it has tubeless wheels, if you understand what I mean. And these conversions that you can make with different band to make it and stuff like that, it's all not so reliable, and I don't want to get messy with this. So if the future Yamaha Tenere that I will eventually buy after 5 or 10 years come with tubeless wheels, it's more than welcome. But I'll still carry tube with me, if you understand what I mean. I hope that this now uh, provide the answer. Pied Boar. I've had a great fun on my ancient Yamaha XT350 temper on one stuck around Kalahari. This is about 3,000 kilometer temper. Yeah, I'll agree. You can have fun with any motorcycle. Any motorcycle. Couplers, I saw that you carry a compressor. Would you be able to change the tube tire with just a hand pump? Bicycle type? Yes, you will be able. I changed a few times tires, front tire with a normal pump, just hand pump, but it requires a lot of power, a lot of manpower, and if you have a compressor, will be much easier. Also, with the pump, it will be very difficult to bed the tire properly. With the compressor, it's a different story. So my advice: buy a compressor, 12-volt compressor, or with battery, whatever. But it's just so much easier. Now on my trip to Magadan, I had 4 flat tires. I couldn't even imagine to have an air pump with me for these tires. It will be just so much pain. Richard, Tenere Tower, are there any bikes you have now sold you wish to still had? Uh, no, because years ago, I had the old Africa Twin, and I thought that this is the best motorcycle that ever existed. So I sold it. Of course, it was many years ago. And then it was in my imagination, it was like a dream bike, so nice and everything. So, but a few years ago, a friend of mine in Germany bought this model and completely rebuilt it as a stock with all good quality parts and everything stock parts. And it was like a brand new. And I said, man, give it to me to ride it just for a while to remember the old nice days. And when I rode it, was like this, man, such a terrible bike. I had different memories from these motorcycles, but when I jumped to ride it, it was first suspension was so soft, it was twisting like shit. I have the impression that the front wheel and rear wheel goes like that. I was twisting the throttle, and I remember it was very powerful bike. But when I compared with the bikes that I have now, it was nothing. It was not stopping well. So I did not enjoy it at all. That's why I never regret that I sold something. It's just I never attach or never get so personal with the bikes or cars. They're just items for me. I always say that these are just tools. So I never get so personal to my tools. It is just a purpose or tool that helped me to ride, to travel, but that's all. Okay. I do have a Hicks sold it. Yeah, go and ride it now, Richard, and you'll understand what I mean. You'll prefer your Himalayan 100 times. I can't bet on it. Yaros, I have recently found a great small compressor. It has a battery, can be used on a power bank, but also can be connected to 12 volt cigarette lighter. Do you think it's the best of both worlds? Yeah, absolutely. I have a compressor which is powered with a battery. It can be also used as a power bank, but it cannot be plug it to the 12 volts. So your option is probably the best one from all. Yeah, go ahead and buy it, and I don't think that you're gonna regret it. If you can connect it, keep in mind always that the fuses that the 12 volt sockets on the motorcycles got are very low amperage. So if you put a normal car compressor, it will burn the fuse immediately. So you need a special motorcycle compressor. Gel or conf? Richard, I don't get this. Please explain me with more words. I cannot understand what you mean. Okay. Lithium or normal gel type battery? Normal for me. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. Normal for me as well. Yes, lithium battery are lighter, much lighter than the normal batteries, but they also have some problems. If it's very cold, they cannot really cope well with the cold days, and they also have some problems with overheating. So I prefer to have a normal batteries. And if you treat it well, if you run your motorcycle all the time, or if you don't ride it in the winter and keep it on tickling charger, whatever the name was, they will serve you for many years. Mine on my Tenere now is 3 years old, no problems. On my old Tenere, I changed the battery on when it's get 12 years. So it's died after 12 years of very loyal serving, if I can say it this way. So I prefer the normal batteries. I think leaving the battery stock is the best. Yes, I will agree. Stock battery is the best. Even though the new Tenere now, the model after mine is 2021, 2022 battery. The new model with the LCD colorful display comes with a lithium battery, but I don't think it's a better option. Trickle charger, exactly. Thank you very much, Yaros. White bore. Recently, you spoke about the camera used to record while riding. What do you plan to carry with you on South American trip? I can show you right now. I'm gonna have this DJI Osmo camera. It will stay on my helmet while I write, and in my hand when I don't write, with this small tripod with ball head that it's very useful to use. And I will also have this Canon for still pictures, and I can also record videos when I'm not writing, for example. I like it because of the display that I can have here to see myself when I film something. But the the main reason is because I like to make still pictures and I prefer to have something more solid. I understand that I can use my telephone, but the pictures on the telephones are not what I need. So this is what I carry to film the trip. I will have another one spare GoPro Hero 7 with me just in the case this breaks down. I have 2-3 different microphones, one in the helmet and few like this one that I use at the moment. But basically this is almost everything that I'm gonna use to film the whole trip. And of course I always double everything just in the case I need it. But this more or less this is. All right, okay. So many things, Alexander. Some people inject special milk to the tube so expose small air leakage experience about the one. I have heard about it. I never tested by myself. There are some different options that might prevent you some problems with the flat tire. They can prevent flat tire, but I always stay with the standard things because I just trust them. But they might work. Okay, whiteboard. Aha, great. Thanks for showing, and no problem. My pleasure. Pradeep Kurjar, I guess from India or from Pakistan. Can I ride 500 kilometers in one go? Yeah, why not? I have done 1,300 kilometers in one go. Why not 500? Depends on the terrain. What model is the Canon and the objective? The Canon is 250D, and the lens is Sigma. What was the size? Sigma. Just a second. Is 17 to 50. The lens is Sigma 17 to 50. It's a 2.8 lens. Yeah, this is what I have. It's very good for still pictures, also good for videos. You can make this blue background in videos and pictures as well. I understand it's big and heavy. I might break it. If I break it, I'll improvise. But with telephone, forget about it. Okay, okay. Yaros, I can't imagine having a lithium motorcycle battery here in Cyprus during the hottest days, 45 degrees. Yes, I agree. It might be a problem. Okay. I have Sony, and this is very old but compact also camera. I also have a very small Sony camera, RX 100 or something like that. It makes really nice pictures, but I cannot make videos with this. This camera, I can make a very good quality videos. It has a 3.5 millimeters jack for microphone, and it works really well. If I want to make a normal videos, put it on the tripod and film. I film this all of my videos with this camera in the garage right now. That's why I prefer to have it. Okay. Pradeep Kurjar, once again, can I ride 500 kilometers in one go? Of course you can. Richard, ever found a better tire than TKC 80? For me, for what I need, TKC 80 is the best. But of course, there are many different variations, Richard. I just cannot find them here. Many people suggest go and check this and that tires, or many tires, for example, exist in Australia, but not here in Europe. So this is what I can find in Europe. It's a little bit expensive, but works the best for me. Pradeep Kurjar, it's a plain area here in Pakistan. Okay, you're in Pakistan. Well, I have done, I don't know how many kilometers in Pakistan, but I have a few days with more than 500 kilometers per day, even in heavy traffics in the area. But especially in North Pakistan, mm, you'll do it without any problems because there are not so many people there. Richard, digital photography has made it a little easier, almost unlimited capacity in my CSP arrays. Do you remember storing many rolls? And yeah, I remember these days. Richard, is well pain in the ass. You have these 36 different shots, and if you make something wrong, you lose everything. I remember every time when I was going to the photo studio, I said, I have 36 poses, please, one piece of each one that is good. And then finally, when they give me these 36 photos, at least 10 are absolutely rubbish. So yeah, I remember it's so much easier now. Do you think that DJI Action 4 is not enough for pictures? I don't think it's for pictures. You can make pictures with it, but they will never be like the pictures that I can make with this camera. Uh, they are definitely something that you can improvise. So for example, if I break this camera, I have to continue make pictures with the DJI, but it is definitely not for pictures. Also, I prefer to shoot in RAW and then edit the pictures later. I think that with DJI you can have also RAW formats, but this will require even more digital space in your SD cards. So I don't think it's a good option for me, but it's a alternative if you don't have any. Coblards, how many kilometers can you make on one set of TKC 80? Understand it varies, depends on terrain, but in average. In average, on my riding style, I don't ride fast, I don't ride many highway kilometers. On the rear, I can get maximum 10,000 kilometers with the rear. The front usually lasts like 15, 16,000 kilometers. But on my riding style, if you have very heavy motorcycle and if you have a lot of highway mileage with a high speed over 130, 40, you can finish it for 5,000 kilometers. Whiteboard. Yes, I have a lot of negative files on. Well, yeah, absolutely. Ever tried towing a motorbike or being towed? It's an interesting experience. Yes, I've done it once. The only way to do it properly and safe is to have a rope connected to the pegs, right pegs on the motorcycle that tows and left peg on the motorcycle that is been towed. So you twist the rope around the peg, put your feet on it and hold it and ride it. In the case of problem, you just release your foot and the rope is gone. This is the only safe way. I've seen people tow around the forks, but this is very dangerous and you can make a really bad accident. This is the only way. I've done it once, but I hope I'm not going to do it again. From peg to peg, left or right, like a cross, like this. No worries, Alexander, no worries. Glad to help. Guys, once again, please do make me a favor. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it so. If you haven't subscribed to the rest of the channels that I have, the main channel, Motorcycle Adventures or Motorcycle Adventures Live, the one that I use for travel videos, please do it so. This will help me to grow the channels faster, to bring more content to people like you. Tomorrow, Monday, I have got a video coming on the main channel. It's about maintenance and reliability. It might be useful for many people and include for you guys. So if you haven't got anything to do, watch it. It will be online tomorrow, 8 p.m. East European time. Travel. The way I was being told is wrap around the bars and hold and let it, if not the problem. This also might work, but it's a little bit more dangerous. So the other way with the pegs works very well because it's a low center of gravity. On the handlebar, you might have a problem, but it might work as well. I have recently blew a fuse on my friend had to tow me a nearby town. It was not fun at all, but a valuable experience. Now I carry some spare fuses. Yeah. Spare parts are must, especially fuses. Something so small that will cause this breakdown situation could be fixed very easy. No worries, Byteboard. Thank you very much for coming. Do you hear about Dirt Tricks durable sprockets? Dirt Tricks durable sprockets? No, I haven't heard about it. What it's about? Guys, this live stream, because it's for everyone, it's free. I'm not gonna edit it. It will be just like that. When I finished here with you, I'm gonna just convert it to a normal video. So it will be still on the channel, like a live stream and normal video for everyone who want to watch it after that. Will you carry a spot tracker or help type device? I have my Monimoto. It's like alarm system on my itinerary, but on my trip to South America, I'm not gonna carry anything with me. I can have this Monimoto and install it on any motorcycle anywhere I travel, but Monimoto does not work in South America, so it will be pointless. But I'm not gonna carry anything with me. They claim 2.5 the steel sprockets longevity. It might be. What about the chain? So if the sprockets are so tough, what about the chain? Maybe the chain will wear faster than sprockets. I haven't heard about these sprockets, but on the dirt tricks, I mean, they use it mostly for dirt bikes, or it's just the name? Yeah, I agree. Chrome longevity, aluminum short life. Just a name. Yeah, it might be, but what about the chain? If the sprockets are so hard, they will probably wear the chain even faster. So if the chain wears faster than sprockets, it's pointless to have this so tough sprockets. Or it might be all right, I don't know, because usually the chain does not wear. The sprockets are wear, and they cause the chain not to go on the bed. So I don't know. Maybe I'll make more. I'll try to find more information about it and some feedbacks maybe from real owners. Richard, is there a good phone signal in remote South America? I don't know the answer on this one. I don't know either, Richard. We're about to see. I'm gonna tell you everything. I'm gonna have it on my videos. I guess that in many places will be out of signal, but it's all right. And they cost $200. I was wondering, is it worth getting one? For $200 is too much, and then you have to pay for the chain. So just the set of sprockets, front and rear, or just the rear? $200. It's just too much, I think. And people worry so much about the chain and sprockets and just rear. It's just too expensive. If you pay another 100 for the front, it will be like to have three different chains and sprockets at the same time. So people are worried so much about the chain, sprockets. They put a lot of oilers and a lot of stuff. But what I usually do, I spray my chain once per day when I stop riding in the evening. Just spray it and that's it. On my trip to Magadan and back, almost 40,000 kilometers, I used altogether 2 chain sprays for the whole trip. And the chain that I've got survived 36,000 kilometers. So when it's finished, I just change it. And to change chain and sprockets in my country, but these are the parts that coming from Europe, cost me like 110 euros. So it's almost nothing compared to the rest of the costs that we have to run motorcycles and travel with motorcycles. Yaros, I will stick with the original sprockets and chain sets. Perfect. I will do exactly the same. I also don't change the size of the sprockets. I keep the original configurations, the original gearing. I don't change it. I don't like to put a big front sprocket to have more relaxable travel on the highways, because I don't go to the highways very often, and if I need to go there, I'm all right with the original gearing. Richard, can you taste the Argentinian beef steak yet? Best in the world. I look forward to it, Richard. I look forward to it. From what I have heard from one of my friends, he said, man, these steaks are so good that you can eat them raw without even cook them. So I really look forward to all of this. I promised to many people already, and promise to you as well, I will film as much as possible with our food, because on my trips I never really focus on the food. I show it here and there on few places, but on this trip I'll try to film as much as possible from the food that we eat and from the experience that we have with the local culture. This is the idea for now, and maybe this will be interesting for people to hear. Yaros, how often do you think it's best to clean and lube the chain during regular use? I know it depends on riding style and range, but I would like to hear my experience. I will tell you, Yaros, my last chain that was gone on 36,000 kilometers, I never cleaned it. I put it brand new here and left to Magadan, and it's finished on the way back somewhere around Poland in 36,000 kilometers. So I never clean it. Usually, I clean the chain maybe once per year or never, because I never worried about it. Uh, and because I ride my motorcycle constantly, even if the chain gets really muddy in some conditions, then on the next day, for example, it will be rainy and it will be so clean from the rain, it will shine. And when I spray it after that, when it's get dry and I spray it, it's like brand new. So if you only ride it, let's say on the dirt roads, and you make it so muddy and dusty, and you use some kind of oils on it, yeah, after a while it should be very nasty and very oily, very greasy. But I just don't mind. My chain never look perfect, but it works, and this is everything that I need. So almost never clean it, or if I need if I clean it, it will be once per year. If for some reason I decided to clean it so properly, but never ever. Nenad, kako si? What kind of wristwatch are you wearing? It's a Casio G-Shock. It's a simple clock that I have from many years. Simple watch that I have from many years. I forgot to put it because I was in the shower. This one, it's nothing special. It's a Casio G-Shock. It's a waterproof. It has this elastic band. It always works. It's dust-proof. It's a durable watch. That's why I use it, but it's nothing special. Thank you very much for coming, Richard. Send my regards to Lina, and I hope to see you one day. A few times we miss each other with a few days, so one day I'm gonna meet you and Lina. Thank you very much for coming. 5 European country for riding. Bulgaria. Turkey is not European, but it has a European part, so Bulgaria and Turkey definitely. And then any country that you can choose in, or say, okay, Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, definitely. These are already free. Then maybe Slovenia. Slovenia is nice country. Slovenia is nice country to visit. And then Switzerland. These are the countries that you'll enjoy. You'll see everything that you want to see. In Bulgaria and Romania, free price, very cheap prices, a lot of different options. You'll have a little bit different experience than Europe. But then Switzerland, perfect. A lot of Swiss passes and stuff like that. Slovenia, it's again very nice. Any place deserves to be ridden. Do you like riding in Greece? I've been to Greece a few times. Not really my country. Yeah, it's nice to see all of these islands and different sea views, but it's all right. It's enjoyable, but when you see it once, I don't think that I want to go and see it again. So it's not really for me. I prefer to go to a little bit more raw places. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream in about 10 minutes time. So if you have any more questions, go ahead. If not, we'll continue next Sunday. I think that this format is good for now, and I might continue doing it like that. So every Sunday to have a live stream for everyone on this channel only. And then until now, I was doing live streams only for channel members and patrons. But I might think for another option for channel members and patrons and continue doing these live streams to many people like you. This is the idea that I've got now. And sometimes I might have a different topics to talk. Sometimes it will be questions like today, Q&A, whatever you prefer. So, is there any more questions, guys, or we can finish, or we can finish for today? A ferry to Greece is currently the only way to get from Cyprus to continental Europe. The Greece will be my first travel destination when I can make it, but I will love to visit Bulgaria. You don't have many options, Yaro, so you have to go to Greece. Greece is nice, you'll enjoy it. Greece is a wonderful country, and on many places, believe it or not, the prices, especially in the restaurants, are even cheaper than Bulgaria. I don't know how they make it, especially the seafood is fantastic. I enjoy it very much. But yes, you don't have many options. All right, guys, thank you very much for coming tonight. I really appreciate your time. And once again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it so. Also, the rest of the channels, Motorcycle Adventures and Motorcycle Adventures Life. This will help me a lot. And I will see you next week, next Sunday, the same time, 8 p.m. East European time. And we'll discuss different motorcycles topics. All right. Ciao, guys.